Hi, it's the Tiny One / Bishie, and this is the pre-recording for day 22 of Vlogmas. If you saw my day 18, you noticed that I have an eye that's very runny. This one, I don't know why, but, between recording the video on the 18th and this one, I laid down, took a little nap. I'm still a little bit sniffly, his eye is still a little bit runny, but we're going to deal with it. And hopefully I don't wake up in the morning with a full-blown cold, you know? Because I got stuff to do in the morning, or later today. Anyways, let's see what the tea is for day 22. Alright, 22. Dude, look, we're making it. We're making it. Okay. It is thought that Japanese Buddhist monks brought tea seeds back from China, which they then grew and consumed in order to help them stay awake for long periods of meditation. Japanese sencha is green tea. No golden ticket still. Oh well. Allow this traditional tea of Japan to lift your spirits day or night with a fresh, clean, yet subtly powerful brew. With an oh-so-vibrant taste that's a little on the green side. This sip's a definite hit. Okay, perfect on its own. 1 to 3 minutes. Okay. Ingredients, green tea. Okay. Actually, I might like this because I do like green tea. Alright, let's steep this. So, my eye has stopped watering. Finally, after 3.5 hours. But now we have the issue of I still have a slight runny nose, but that's fine. Alright, let's see what this tea is. It seems okay for a green tea. Not my favorite. Of course, I always continue to go to the black teas, but it's okay. If, like, I had no choice, you know, if it was just, like, offered to me, like I've said before, then yeah, I'd have this. My roommate just got home from work, so he's talking to the cats. Let's see. So, I'm trying to think of topics. I'm starting to run low, but let's talk about sports. And before you click off, this is going to be talking about me and my falling away from sports teams. Now, as you may have noticed, sometimes I have sports merch, or I have sports merchandise in the background, and there's a good reason for it. Either I've purchased these items over the years, or they've been gifted to me, and the person, you know, it holds a sentimental value. Let's just put it that way. My love of sports started with my dad. He's a big, not so much basketball or anything else, but he's a big baseball and football person. And back then, well, still his team. Back then, the team that I knew that he liked the most were the A's. The Oakland A's. So growing up, I was an Oakland A's fan too. I learned the names of the players, and I've been to a couple games when I was little. In fact, I used to have a complete baseball card set of the 1986 Oakland A's baseball team. And then my stepmom ended up throwing it out because she didn't think she thought it was worthless. Little did she know those cards are probably worth money nowadays. Actually, let me check real quick. Okay, so the cars aren't worth that much yet. And does anyone remember Donruss? I don't know if they're still a company anymore, but it was Donruss sets of, entire set Oakland A's. And one of my favorite players was Ricky Henderson. And I knew another person whose favorite was, Jose Canseco. And then, of course, there was Mark McGwire, who was another popular player back then. And Dave Henderson was also another popular one. Well, of course, I wanted to follow Ricky's career, and I followed him when he won the record for most stolen bases. I was actually watching the game with my dad when that happened. And then, along with baseball, I kind of started to fall away from baseball once I grew up and I moved. And I thought my dad was a solid Oakland A's fan, but turned out he also liked the San Francisco Giants too, which for some reason in my head I thought that was kind of blasphemous. I thought you could only like one team per sport, and that's it. But I don't know. Later on, I kind of started falling away from, not watching baseball so much, so I started forgetting members of the team, and then when they were traded, and when new members came on, I wouldn't recognize the team anymore, and I just stopped being interested in the sport altogether. Now, there's a local team called the River Cats, and I have gone to a couple River Cats games, and I do still enjoy the sport, but I'm not as much of a fan as I was before. I mean, if you had tickets, and you had a spare ticket, and you said, hey, do you want to come with me to an Oakland A's game, or do you want to come with me to a River Cats game? I'm not going to say no, because it's an interesting atmosphere, and I really like the atmosphere of being at the ballpark, having a soda in one hand, or a beer, and a hot dog, or some popcorn, and just, casually munching away as you're watching, these guys play and hope that your particular team wins. The other sports team, I'm sure you've seen quite a bit in my videos, is football. Now, in the past, when I was a child, I was a San Francisco 49ers fan, and so much so that I even had a San Francisco 49ers jacket, And those jackets were expensive back then, the starter jackets from I think it was the late 90s, no, not even late 90s, early 90s, They were quite a bit of money, and I had one. What stopped me from wearing the jacket, though, is in one of my classes, I don't remember if it was an accident or if the person sincerely didn't like me, but they spilled calligraphy ink on the arm right here of my very expensive jacket, and I couldn't wear it anymore because we couldn't get the ink out, and I got in trouble even though it wasn't my fault, and there was a big blow up about it. So, I really liked, oh God, what's his name? Joe Montana. He was my favorite on the 49ers, and then I was super upset when he got transferred to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I didn't understand at the time that that's what happened. I thought that I didn't know anything about deals or contracts or anything like that. Nobody wanted to explain that part of the sport to me. I just thought that the 49ers were being off. Hold on a minute. Ugh. Life with cats. What was I? Yes. So I just thought that the 49ers were being horrible. they were being mean and they were kicking him to the curb, and that the Chiefs were being just so wonderful and taking him in so that he can continue to play. And then his replacements, oh God, who's his replacement? Hold on. Steve Young, that's who it was. I thought that I hated Steve Young because I thought, oh no, he's taking his place. That's so horrible. How could they do that? And I became so very anti-49ers. And I became a Chiefs fan just because of Joe Montana. You know, like I said, not understanding the politics or any of that stuff that goes with it. And then, when Joe Montana retired, I felt lost. It's like, now, what team do I root for? I couldn't go back to the 49ers. I felt like they were betrayers and they were horrible. And so, I knew of some cousins that were Oakland Raiders fans. And they were diehard Oakland Raiders fans. And I liked the look of the colors, you know, the silver and black, kind of like these colors right here. And I liked the look, you know, the pirates, you know, the look of the little mascot and all that. And so I became an Oakland Raiders fan. Just simply on that, nothing else. Honestly, I would say I was a Raiders fan, but I didn't know any of the players, nothing like that. The only time I knew of a player, and if you're a salty 49ers fan for this, I'm sorry, but the only time I knew a player, and I thought it was funny because I was still upset at the 49ers. Now I don't care, you know, they can do whatever they want, was when they traded, when the 49ers had Jerry Rice, and they traded Jerry Rice got traded to the Oakland Raiders for a short time. And I thought that was completely hilarious. I thought, you know, I don't know, I thought that was the best trade ever. Again, me being young, not knowing anything. And then, later on down the road, I see a Jerry Rice Oakland Raiders jersey. And it's an official jersey. It belonged to, obviously, a child, but it was my size. And since it was in a thrift store, they only wanted $4 for it. Honestly, I think they would have asked for more if they actually knew, like, the value of what these jerseys were. But they only wanted $4, so I got an official Jerry Rice Oakland Raiders jersey for $4, and I still have it. It's still one of my prized possessions, and it's like, I don't know, it brings out the saltiness in so many people. It's a little bit hilarious, but you know, in time, I kind of like stopped watching Raider games, and it wasn't just because they kept losing. It's just, I started losing interest in the sport. I had really no one to talk to in real life about it. And it became uninteresting. But I still have, like I said, I still have stuff that people have gifted me over the years or that I purchased. That's Oakland Raiders. Will I give that stuff away? Maybe. Maybe not. The other team is for basketball, and that was the Los Angeles Lakers. And for the longest time, I was a Lakers fan just because one of my best friends at the time was also a Lakers fan. And when Magic Johnson got the HIV virus, of course, big controversy, and I was still a Magic Johnson fan, or I was still a Lakers fan because Magic Johnson. You know, I still associated him with the Lakers. But if you asked me any other, you know, any other teammate's name, I wouldn't be able to give you one. And in time, also like everything else, that enjoyment of basketball kind of like faded. But again, I've actually been to one basketball game, and that was one of my cousin's basketball games. But if you ever like have free tickets or anything like that, and you invite me to a football game, I've actually never been to a live football game, or basketball game, or something like that, then yeah, I'll say I'll go. I'll go to spend time with the person who invited me, to enjoy the atmosphere, and hope a particular team that's playing wins. The last team I want to talk about that I used to be a fan of, and kind of not anymore, is a hockey team. And that's the San Jose Sharks. Again, one of my good friends at the time was a San Jose Sharks fan. And so I thought, okay, well, they like the Sharks, they're cool, so I guess I'll like them too. But that's where it stopped, you know. I would see the merch and I'd be like, oh, okay, Sharks. But I never been to a hockey game. I never watched, you know, them play on TV, nothing like that. So, also that's, you know, enjoyments of the team kind of like faded out. Now, I have been to a friend's hockey game that was just, you know, amateur hockey. And that was pretty entertaining. It was cold as hell, but it was still entertaining. So yeah, so like I said, if you invite me, even though I've lost interest in specific teams, if you invite me to these particular events, even if you invite me to a soccer game, never been to a soccer game, I don't have a particular team I like, nothing like that, but even though I'm not interested in any particular teams, I will go for the atmosphere, for the companionship, or for whomever I'm with. You know, we can talk about the game, talk about, you know, oh, well, he shouldn't have gotten that foul, you know, that sort of stuff. And, of course, the food. And that's okay if you used to enjoy sports and now you don't anymore. I mean, there's nothing that says that, oh, you have to be a diehard fan of team no matter what. And if you're late in the game and just getting into sports, that's perfectly fine too. Now, back when I was a kid growing up, we didn't have, you know, information at our fingertips like we do now to look up a sports team and learn the rules of the game and how to play and what the positions are or anything like that, or who plays on the team, anything. Now, you have all that information that you can look up so that you are so knowledgeable the next time you watch a game on TV or you want to talk to a friend about, you know, a specific team or even attend a game, that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's my topic. Hope it wasn't too boring. Like I said, I'm trying to still think of ideas, and it gets kind of hard when you're doing consecutive videos for a vlog 24 days in a row. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. 3 more left. After this video, 2 more left. That's what I mean. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. And by the way, the cats are okay if you heard the cat fight. It's just, I wanted to make sure that they were okay. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.